Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another reaction for you guys. Today guys, of course, here continuing the journey of Benton Alien Force Season 3. This is Season 3, Episode 3. Like always, I don't know the title of the episode. I'll find that out when I get into the episode itself. We just wrapped up the Vengeance of Vilgax, aka the Vilgax Return storyline, and Ben actually won. Surprisingly, which was I was freaking out, Diamond Head. Because it seems, I don't know for sure, but it seems that Chromastone was killed, destroyed, whatever, by Vilgax. Because he was not the same Vilgax. And Ben wasn't really processing that, or he just really wasn't giving a shit. And that was really a detriment to the whole situation, because I feel like if Ben actually paid more attention to everything being told to him versus, Vilgax fight, whatever, he would have been more mentally and maybe even more prepared in terms of a physical sense, in terms of, let me think back on how I fought Vilgax before. It was years ago. This is a different Vilgax, but let me try to prepare. No, he was just too worried about getting his aliens and didn't even care that Kevin is now an amalgamation of different, like, you know, metals and different things or whatever. Like, he can't revert back to his regular self now because of the thing, you know, the Omnitrix exploding essentially, or this explosion due to the Omnitrix, which I had a discussion, you guys were commenting as well on part 2 of Vengeance of Vilgax, saying how who's really to blame for all of this in terms of the aliens being lost out of the Omnitrix and for Kevin's change. It's really a mixture of both. Kevin initiated, he wanted to break the Omnitrix or bypass some, you know, things in place to stop it from, you know, being manipulated. He wanted to bypass all that. And then Ben continued after being told by, you know, oh god, I'm blanking on his name. Blanking on his name. Oh my gosh. Azimuth. Sorry guys, I woke up about an hour ago. I'm still trying to wake up. I'm sorry I forgot his name for a second. But after Azimuth told him not to do it, he continued to do so. And so Ben's just being an ass. But he thankfully turned into Diamond Head and brought that character back. I don't know how, but to me it doesn't matter at the moment, because I was like, oh my god! And then he beats Vilgax. And Vilgax actually agrees to the fact that he lost, and he's willing to leave, but he's like, I will have my vengeance or revenge. Like, he's still gonna be out there plotting and planning, but he's actually abiding by the law that was set in place, that he lost, he has to leave. So, yeah, and the fact that Max was ready to go out there, he had this armor on, he was getting all these weapons, he was ready to go out there, and I predicted Max would have died if he would have. Because Vilgax is not the same Vilgax that he's been facing all these years. I really wish we could have had a young Max spinoff show. That would have been so fucking awesome. Him being the plumber and everything would have been amazing. But anyways, so let's get into the episode, guys, see what happens here, and let's see what's the fallout, what's the aftermath of the Vilgax fight. Let's go. This is a long build. Is that explosion? Oh my god. Oh, there's multiple. Oh, there's a lot of them. Okay. They just keep coming. What the hell are they?
Just saying we should hurry.
Don't wake her up.
Max wants us to check out those things.
Speed trap's coming up. Highway patrolman with a radar gun.
Okay, we can go invisible now. Oh, they're just still chilling out there. Okay.
So, what's the big deal if they eat a few rocks?
Looked in a mirror lately?
Pretty cool.
Oh my god.
My D-mask?
That was cool.
Hero time! Humongosaur!
Oh. Oh, wait a minute.
Humongosaur!
They're stampeding because he tried to attack him. Oh no. Oh! Exactly. Yep. Oh!
With you in a minute.
Rainstorm.
Keep him trapped.
Those cow things bit me.
Yeah, they're basically like cows,
Why
kind
I
of.
chose to surround them with the metal rails.
Kid, there's lots of species here on Earth you won't find in any book. That's where fairy tales come from.
Even Bigfoot?
Don't be ridiculous. That's a guy in a suit.
Oh, come on.
How How far does this go?
I don't know, but this is as far as we go.
Uh-oh.
I'll turn into Jet Ray and slow us down.
It ain't gonna happen. What?
You'll dent the roof.
Well, that's good. Okay. That would've been bad.
What did you do that for?
Because TNT,
Cut it
idiot.
out. You cut it out.
Oh.
Move.
Oh, wait a minute. Who the hell's that? Big chill. Okay.
Don't be afraid. It's still me.
Not really helping, Sonny. You're still ugly as all get out.
What's your name, old timer? What are you doing with all the explosives?
Oh, I've been stealing that stuff from the surface dwellers for years.
What job is that?
Protecting my herd.
Your herd.
Why were you throwing rocks at us, Moldy Warp?
I couldn't get to my explosives. That's what I mostly use on the other fella.
No wonder the pyroxivores came to the surface. It's like a furnace down here.
All that magma started seeping up.
Oh. That's not good.
Who dares intrude
Him?
on the lair of the... Oh, not you again. Destroy them.
Destroy them. Oh boy. Really? We're gonna do this right now? I have giant machines now.
Remember all that Tadenite that I took off of you?
Yeah.
This is my planet now. I filed a claim, paid the fees, the whole
What?
bit.
What?
Completely legal. Drop it down the shaft, it explodes in the magma at the center of the earth, and before you know it, I have all the comforts of home.
Oh, we have a countdown.
You
Oh
handle
shit.
the runts and the robots.
Seems like he can't do anything. Oh, Jesus.
Somebody do something about her.
How about you do something about her? Deal with the drill machine. It's just so strange. Come on.
What are you waiting for?
The watch isn't working. Oh my god. Just random TNT. Spider Monkey. He's confused as well as I am. It's so weird that he's Spider Monkey against him. Ooh. I'm gonna go faster. Oh my gosh. He's out of there.
Ben, what are you doing?
I can grab the bomb when it drops.
Oh shit. You better go. What are you doing?
If that bomb reaches the Earth's core,
Can make it explode early? Like that. Oh, yeah, didn't think about the backfire. Yeah.
well, we're still here, aren't we?
So then, everything's okay?
What's to keep Volcanus from coming back and dropping another bomb down the shaft, huh? After all, he did fill out the paperwork.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, that's smart, blowing everything up.
Supper?
Supper?
Yes, sir, Rainbow. This looks like a plump one.
And there you guys have it. That was the third episode of Ben 10 Alien Force. A strange episode that got to a part in the story that, okay, I can see this as being an episode, but everything leading up to it was kind of an odd trajectory, getting to the point of Volcanus owning the planet, essentially, by signing contracts and permits or whatever the hell, and he was basically going to turn Earth into what he wanted it to be. I don't know how legit that was. Okay, so, like I said, strange. Okay, so I have the actual voice talent pulled up here because I had to try to remember Moldy Warp is the name of the character, which was voiced by Paul Edding, I think is how I pronounce his last name, who voices Max in the show. He also voiced Moldy Warp. Okay, it's a weird name. But the Pyroxivore, or something like that, D. Bradley Baker voiced the creatures or whatever, but whatever, those cow-like creatures. The opening of the episode was a little strange because it was a slow build-up to the explosion of that rig. That was, I think that machine that was destroyed when they were all coming out of the underground, they were that was like an oil siphoning or something, I think. But it was a slow build up. It's quiet. Guy drives up. He's checking his papers, and there's nothing going on here. Explosion. So like, okay, but it took a long, like it felt like really like a slow build. And so they're all just coming out from underground. All these, and they're. My first thought was like they're kind of like cows, but then they even make it more apparent they are basically alien versions of cows, kind of. They eat rock though. They eat rocks, which of course later on when Kevin shows up, they're trying to eat him at one point, which is really bad. So they're warned, or they're told to go to investigate, and they're still in the area they were at the beginning of the episode. It's never explained what happened to that guy. I'm assuming he's fine. I don't know. Did they kill that guy who was there, that worker? No clue, because they never mention it. And maybe it didn't matter, but I thought they would have maybe addressed that. But when they're driving, there's a police officer who's sitting under a sign, of course, typical. But there's no like coverage, but yet he's sleeping. Kevin makes the car go invisible, and I don't remember if the car's done that before. Maybe it has. I don't remember. But regardless, that was pretty interesting to see. He might have done that before. I just can't remember. It's like so much stuff's happened in the show and other shows that I watch, and like for the channel and not for the channel. I can't remember everything. So apologies for that. But they're still there. They're still grazing the same area, which is like, okay, that's kind of like what cows do. It's a strange thing. Max explains some information when they go and after they go and Ben tries and they use the watch. And throughout this episode, it's on this side. Ben's having a tough time with the watch. He's having a tough time with the watch. Like, there's times he tries to hit it, nothing happens. Other times he's not getting who he's looking for. And I think he has royally screwed up the Omnitrix again. It was working just fine before, perfectly in Season 1 and Season 2. He was able to sit there and choose exactly what alien he wanted when we had all those issues in the original classic series. And I'm pretty sure we have now reverted back to that classic series thing to where Ben cannot just choose who he wants. Because that was not the case at all. Ben turned into Brainstorm. That's not who he wanted to turn into when he was going off against these cow-like creatures, the Pyroxivores or whatever. And so he pretty much had to save Gwen and Kevin, who were kind of in the middle. Of course, Kevin was being sought after because he is part stone, and they won't even bid him. But Ben surrounded them with trains and like metal from like the railroad or whatever, because they only eat rock. They don't eat metal. They don't eat anything else, so they're not going to get out. They go down the hole. And then they get to a certain point, and then they fall through the ground. And so the parachute didn't work. Thankfully, the rockets on the wheels worked. And they morphed to like kind of like a rocket kind of car floating down. Still wasn't perfect, but still it was pretty crazy because, of course, Ben was willing to try to jet ray. But see, the thing is now that Ben can't just readily choose jet ray. And half the time in the episode when he's trying to hit the Omnitrix, that ain't doing shit for him. There's no guarantee he would have gotten jet ray. He probably would have gotten somebody else. He probably would have done something pretty bad. So thankfully, Kevin had a plan. Then we get to a room full of TNT. Now, so far, the episode has been kind of odd because we're all leading to the Volcana storyline, who's the one that we're really trying to, like, I think that was, I'm trying to understand why we had these cow-like creatures, Moldy Warp, involved, because that's his herd of animals up there. He eats them apparently. At the end of the episode they reveal that he has all this TNT. I don't know why we have all of this leading up to Volcanus, who we've seen before, and he apparently has a permit to recreate the Earth in his own home world. He can do what he wants. He's basically reinventing Earth. I would think that would be an actual main story point, which it is once we get to the point, but it's not like we're spending the whole entire episode with him or this plan of recreating the Earth in his own way. It just feels kind of odd. It's just like a tacked on thing, and it's just kind of strange. You guys were also commenting, and I try not to read every single comment, not because I don't want to read all your guys' comments, but there's people at times who post spoilers or say things that I shouldn't be seeing in terms of potential plot points or things that I should be really focusing on, because that may be brought up later. But I remember some people commenting as we got into even just part 1 of Vengeance of Vilgax, the first episode of Season 3, saying, This is there's some weirdness. There's like, it's not the best of season 3 is not the best of Alien Force. Like, it's, you know, but those first 2 episodes, I really enjoyed them, besides Ben being a complete ass. But it was a lot of stuff happening with Vilgax and everything. But this episode definitely wasn't up to par in terms of what I was hoping, because I thought the Volcanus thing should have been more of a focal point versus it just being, oh, it's a part of the second to third act narrative, when we could have had that the whole entire time. Because do we need to meet this moldy warp character? No. Do we need to meet these cow-like alien creatures? No. Did we need all like the build up and that? Like, can we just open up a Volcanus or whatever showing up to Earth, or he's already down there and then we kind of lead them there in another way? Yes, but we don't. So I don't know what the thinking was there. Because I think it would have been more interesting if it was, because literally from how integral he was in the beginning of Alien Force, with him using Kevin's new abilities and everything and growing all those. They even reference that, where they're growing all of the crystal on, or that type of crystal on Kevin. And they reference that, but I feel like it would have been more impactful if, like, he was like the main point. Like, Volcanus was the main point of the story versus step by step by step. Now we get to the point of like, oh, he has a permit for the changing the Earth. I don't know. It was good at least to see Ben not be completely like an ass like he has been in the first 2 parts of Vengeance of Vilgax. So that was good. There were still moments where he's not exactly the Ben that from season 1 and season 2, but I think this whole thing of the hybrid saving the galaxy and then stopping Vilgax, it's changed him as an individual. And at least Ben acknowledges that, yeah, something's wrong with the watch. I got to fix that. You're not going to be able to fix it. Asmon's going to be the one who's probably going to have to fix the damn thing because you screwed it up. So there's that. But overall, it wasn't like a terrible episode. I was just a little confused and kind of going, huh? A little bit on some of the stuff. But, you know, hey, overall, I still enjoy watching these characters. And even though maybe Moldy, Warp, and these, you know, Pyroxivores or whatever the fuck they're called, I think maybe that's how you pronounce that. I don't know. We heard it several times and just not clicking in my head exactly. But we didn't need to see them, but it's just more characters in the universe. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we're expanding upon who and what's out there. Because even Max references, also, I almost got to mention this, he mentions that, you know, unicorns, pixies, all that stuff, trolls, like, they're all real. That's what fairy tales are based off of, because they actually exist. And they ask about Bigfoot, so that's a guy in a suit. Okay, so that's where you draw the line. Okay. Anyways, what did you guys think of the episode? I'm curious to know your thoughts. You guys agree with me in terms of how they should have just got to the Volcanus start party? Yeah, I've been saying his name. My mic's been covering up the name at the bottom. I'm pretty sure it's Volcanus, and that's the name. I just had to double check. Because imagine if I've been saying it wrong this whole time. It would have been bad. But I think, do you guys agree with me in terms of Volcanus should have been the main focal point of the episode instead of just stepping to get to the damn point finally in terms of what he's doing to the Earth? So yeah, but anyways, overall wasn't terrible, but could have been better. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.